What's going on, YouTube? This is Dante with Sports Numbers and Culture, and we're gonna skip the formalities today, and we're gonna get right into it. But we're not gonna go get into it before I say I want to thank you everybody for the new subscribers. I want to thank everybody for the views, or the shorts, for the videos. I really appreciate it so much. And so I'm just going to get over to housekeeping really quickly. If you could join me on Sports Numbers and Culture on Facebook, a group under the same name. Follow me also. I am on TikTok as well, Sports Numbers and Culture. And obviously YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate every share, every like, every subscribe, everything. Really appreciate it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. I really appreciate it if you want to talk sports, you want to talk a little bit of analytics. And from now on now, I know the Grammys passed. I'm going to try to get into that later. But it's been so heavy, so much going on, trying to follow and track down every story with hoops. So we're going to get right into it. Got my notes right here. And so first things first. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo, following up for the last content I put out. Basically, is he going to get traded? It seems like it's closer than ever. Obviously, it's a chance that he could not, but teams are clearing the decks and trying to make sure they can make a way for it to happen. And so, first things first, I want to say shout out to the Timberwolves. They have a young superstar on their hand in Anthony Edwards, and they are trying to put themselves in position to put that young superstar along with a guy in his prime as well still, in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And basically they made a trade today that doesn't seem like much, didn't give out much, and used it was like a protected first round pick that they gave up in a deal, basically to get off of Mike Conley's salary. And what it does is it clears up $10.7 million in salary for them, but over on the luxury tax side, it clears about $20 million. And so basically that's going to make it more digestible for them to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so they're putting themselves in together. I've been hearing whispers of maybe they're trying to take some of the players that they have on their roster, maybe reroute them other places, or use those players to get picks to route to Milwaukee. And I think that basically they have said, we've got a young star, we're going to go all in. They've made moves before to go all in, like they did with Rudy Gobert, still a head scratcher, and then luxury tax wise and apron wise, they made the move to go off of Karl-Anthony Towns, which I did agree with. While he's a very good player, they went to the exact same place without him back to the conference finals. Now they need to get past that point. So if a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo is available, I understand them going for it. Myself, I would really love Giannis, as I mentioned before, to go ahead and get traded, clear things up. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. I want the Lakers to, obviously going for him, I completely understand. I would much prefer them to say, hey, let's build a full cohesive team. I mean, obviously, it's a different situation with OKC. They have all those picks, that they've acquired and, and tanking, but build a good, solid team around a core and then get it going from there instead of just the traditional Lakers model, all superstar or nothing. But when they had those superstars previously in other eras, they also had a full team. 2020 had a full team, but too much to get in there on my Lakers soapbox. Let's get back into the other big trade of the day. The biggest trade of the day, not just the move before a move, like the Timberwolves, but James Harden came out late last night. Everybody been getting on Shams about, oh, he's not this, he ain't breaking, bring back Woj. Well, he had the story about, hey, Darius Garland for James Harden. That was kind of rumored. James Harden, 36 years old, really still playing well. The Clippers is terrible. They suck. And they play better, but they're trying to pivot both off of James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi, they have obviously stayed down with him, and the tree scandal with aspiration and all of that, and injuries in the game management, load management. But at this point, they've decided to part ways with James Harden, trading him straight up for Darius Garland. For the Cavs, they are a team that is they're only team in the NBA with the second apron. And as you know, the second apron, long story short, comes with a lot of restrictions with what you can and cannot do. And you have to, like the trade that they made, you can't take in more salary than you send out. To a trade, you can't aggregate multiple salaries. So they had to do a 3-team deal, which they did, and now it looks pretty good if you look at it on paper. So on paper, you've got the lineup for the Cavs. It's looking like James is going to be the point, Donovan Mitchell running into Jalen Tyson as their 3, Evan Mobley at the 4, Jared Allen at the 5. But coming off the bench, who they just acquired, Keon Ellis as a 3-and-D defender, guy to back up Max Strus, Dennis Schroeder. You got Larry Nance Jr. You got Sam Merrill. You got Thomas Bryant. So they have a little bit of depth on their team, but getting an extra defender, I would say definitely for Harden, and Mitchell, having a guy like a Keon Ellis, having a guy like a Dennis Schroeder that can come in and guard the perimeter players, that's going to be key for them. But really, Evan Mobley is the big P. He hasn't played since January 26th. He is the key, reigning defensive player of the year to come in, make things happen. Probably you're looking at a lineup where you're going smaller. You probably put Evan Mobley at the 5. And then you kind of figure out the rest of what you're going to put in from there. How you're going to integrate with Harden, how you're going to integrate with Donovan Mitchell. Because my biggest thing with Donovan Mitchell is when it's time to get a bucket come playoff time, and he is a certified bucket getter, being at his height is what's going to be a detriment. But a James Harden is somebody, unfortunately, hey, he has obviously the requisite height and the size, but come playoffs, we all know what James Harden does in the playoffs. So that's where things get tricky for them there. And so and if they want to move on from Harden, he has a contract that's going to expire. That could get themselves out of the apron situation that way. Also moving off of players like they're looking forward to with Lonzo Ball. Hasn't worked out. Lonzo hasn't been the best since the injury. So, I wish him the best, but they're probably going to move on from him. So that's another move to look for them. Celtics. I always hate to see good things as a Lakers fan. Celtics do good things, but they traded Anthony Simmons. They did go ahead and let him go for Nikola Vujic. So they get a starting center, expiring deals. So it's just like, hey, it was a pretty solid move for them. But another big deal that kind of started everything going was, full rebuild alert in Memphis, and more do they have the draft picks to do it. Jaren Jackson Jr., former defensive player of the year, probably should have went to Anthony Davis, but I digress. They went ahead and traded him to Utah Jazz for, basically, we could get into the other players in the deal, like Walter Clayton Jr., who is going from I believe he's going from the Jazz he's going to the Grizzlies now. And so basically they're going to put together, and I thought about it. Me and a friend of mine, we got in the chat. We said, hey, what are they going to do for Walter Kessler? And I was like, hey, they could be looking at probably still bringing him back, because restricted free agency in this day and age in the NBA basically means nothing. They probably need to get that out of the CBA, the Players Association. But the front line of Lauri Markkanen staying, Walker Kessler coming back, and Jaren Jackson Jr. coming in as that kind of front line. That's something that could be interesting, especially like Keontae George, who's really come on, DFW kid. So respect to him, props to him for doing his thing in the league. But it's a lot going on. It's so much pieces moving. The Heat are still whispering being involved. Another team is a dark horse. The Lakers are involved with the Giannis trade, and it's just so much going on here. There's so much going on, and I really want to see what happens. Our team's going to do like I respect the other teams making moves and say, we're going to be aggressive. We're not going to let Giannis lock up the market. We're looking at what we're going to do now versus what we're going to do in the future. Because what I will say, keep in mind, free agency-wise, look at the deals that are being done now. The deals that are going to happen now make teams think about, oh, we got cap space coming up. Let's use some of that cap space. I would love for different teams to say, hey, let's give this situation a try. Let's trade for player X, make the move for player X, and then you plan out your cap space. If the move doesn't work and it doesn't mesh, let the player go to free agency, take your cap space, and maybe make another trade in the summer. Because now we're seeing players, especially I believe this free agent market's not the strongest, but 27 is the strong one. We're done from the days like we did in the 2000s. And in the 2010s, it's like, okay, preserve the cap space, get the power to dry. Shout out to Mark Cuban, but for that term. But hey, let's keep this cap space, and then let's in the summertime, let's go spending free. But now with the cap holds and everything, it doesn't seem the same way. You can basically now players are taking that big bag, taking that extension. They're getting that bread from the extension. And now if a guy's not going to go, it's the same model as always. Trade them away, get something for them. But so far, so good. It looks like we could have an explosive trade deadline. As you're seeing this, probably maybe some more deals that come down before you see this on Wednesday morning. But hopefully I'm I can keep up with as best I can. I am going to do a post-draft, not post-draft, a post NBA trade deadline show. Trying to see about possibly going live. Likely there will definitely be video content here. So check in here with Sports Numbers and Culture. We're going to keep the content going. No, we got the Super Bowl, but right now, before we get to the Super Bowl, this trade deadline, possibly a top 75 player of all time, and Giannis Antetokounmpo possibly on the move. Teams trying to get the cap space together. Will a team like a Lakers make a move? Will the Knicks make a move? It's so much going on. I'm so glad we got what we didn't get this summer, what we were promised, and now it is delivering. But this is Dante with Sports Numbers and Culture. Please like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think about possibly doing a live show. You guys interested in anything like that? Let me know what you're interested about other content-wise. Let me know also in the comments if you watch the Grammys, if you want to see some content about that. Might do a little shorter video just about it. Shout out to Kendrick, the hip-hop artist with the most Grammys of all time. Overtaking that from Jay-Z this past time. Yeah, and so, but yeah, it's a lot to get into here. Can't wait to dive into it. Keep your notifications on for this channel. I know we all got notifications for Shams, but just tap in with me. Let me know what you think. But again, this is Dante with Sports Numbers and Culture. Out.